Hey everyone, I'm back to talk about a portion of 4.MBT5, which is multiplying with zeros. This is going to be very similar to what we've already talked about, which was multiplying with tens and hundreds. So this should be a pretty easy skill for you. If you could please just watch the video through once, listen and learn, and then grab your math notebook and pause the video as you need to copy these notes into your math notebook. Thank you. Here we go. First thing you need to do is head your notebook page with what we are studying. And then these are the directions for doing this skill. All you need to do is multiply the first two numbers, then write that down, then count all the zeros, and then add them to the end of your answer. That's really it. Just a little tip, please remember that the answer of a multiplication sentence is called a product, and sometimes they will say find the product of these two numbers, or find the quotient, which is the answer to division. So you need to know that vocabulary word to be able to give the correct answer. So product for multiplication. Okay. Here we're going to practice a few, so just watch, and you can even pause the video if you'd like to give them a shot and see if we get the correct answer. Okay, here we go. First thing I do is multiply the first two numbers together, so 3 times 7, I write it down, 21. Then I go back and count my zeros. There's 1 0, so I add it to the end. Same thing over here, 4 times 8, 32. Go back, count my zeros, I just have 1, I add that to the back. I'm going to keep going the same way. 2 times 3 is 6. I count the zeros. There's 2. 1, 2. That's it. 3 times 8, 24. Count the 2 zeros. 1, 2. Okay. Now, these are the ones that get a little tricky, especially the ones that when you do the multiplication, it ends in a 0, because they're trying to trick you and hope that you count the 0 that's part of the answer in the zeros that you're adding on. So, for example, 5 times 8 is 40. So make sure you write that down first. Then you go back and you add the other zeros, 1, 2, 3. So you make sure that you've written the 40 down, because that 0 does not count as one of the zeros you have to add. I still have to add 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. They're hoping that you're going to count the 0 that's in the 40 as one of these. So make sure you don't do that. Okay. That's why we write our answer down first and then we add the zeros after. Same thing here is another example. 500 times 6. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. You can see that ends with a 0. Again, they're trying to catch you there. Make sure you write your answer down, then add the 2 zeros. Okay, so don't forget to write your answer down first, and that way you won't make that mistake. Okay? Now, these ones you can notice are getting a little bit different. So up top, these problems all have just one number that has zeros in them, whereas down here, these numbers both have zeros in them. It's no big deal. It's still the same thing. So you're going to multiply the first two numbers together. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to count the zeros on both sides. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's it. 6 times 3 is 18. I write that down. I count the zeros. 1, 2. I add them on. 1, 2. Down here, 4 times 9, 36. Now I count all the zeros. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's one that they're trying to get you with a 0. So 5 times 2, you know that is 10. So don't forget that we still have to add our zeros. So 5 times 2 is 10. I wrote down my answer. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Be careful with those. That's the only thing that's actually kind of tricky with this skill. Okay, 7 times 9, 63, plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back, you put your comma after 3 numbers. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma, and so forth. Okay, last one, I have 8 times 8, 64, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then ones, tens, hundreds, comma, ones, tens, hundreds, comma, 6,400,000. Wow. Okay, so that's really it. It's kind of a fun thing to do. It makes multiplying big numbers kind of easy when they have zeros. Remember, all you do, multiply the first two numbers together and then add the zeros on the end. Okay, I just want to add on a couple more numbers, because sometimes they do give us one single-digit number in the front and one two-digit number, and I don't want that to freak you out. So just do the same, you do the same thing. So instead of being 2 times 1 and write it down, it would be 2 times 12. So 2 times 12 is 24, and then you can still count up the zeros, 1, 2, 3, and you add those on to the end. 4 times 11 is 44, and then I add 3 zeros, 2, 3. Down here, 3 times 12, 36, and then I add the 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. So I just wanted to tell you that if you bump into a problem where it's a single digit times a double digit, it's no big deal. You do the same thing, so don't let that freak you out, okay? We will practice these more in class. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.